So it's a letter from Tupac that claims you was an eyewitness at the prison when Suge Knight and David Kenner was visiting him. Is that true?
Yes.
So if you don't mind, give me the whole backstory behind that.
So I had came up a couple days before Suge and David Kenner had came to visit. His aunt, Yasmin Fuller, had drove me up there. She needed to come see him to sign some papers off. And, I was going to stay there with him. So, they got me a suite, a connecting suite, because some of the boys was going to come meet us from the Outlaws. Well, come meet me in a few days. And the day David Kenner and Suge came, I was already on the visit with him. He was a little excited and apprehensive at the same time. He wanted to, kind of having thoughts whether he was making the right decision, signing with them. But ultimately, that was his get out of jail card. And, also not to mention that from the couple times he had seen Suge, he started building a friendship and a relationship with him. So he was ready to sign. And about an hour or so into the visit, David Kenner walked in first. And then I seen this big guy, in his red shirt, jeans, larger than life presence. And I'm like, okay, I seen Suge. So they came in and sat down at the table with us. I moved over, let them get in front of him so that they could handle their business. Ultimately, I was just sitting on the sidelines, kind of, trying not to be in the middle of what they was doing because, that was his business. And him and David Kenner discussed, what was on paper. He looked through it, and, he got to signing the papers. He asked me to be a witness on the paper. So I signed also, and that, pretty much David Kenner spoke to him for a few more minutes. He got up and walked out the visit. And then, Suge stayed back behind, and they was chopping it up for a couple minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes before Suge had to go because they had to fly back to L.A. the same day. And, when they left, Pac just made the comment I hope I'm not selling my soul, not to the devil, literally, Satan, but just getting in bed, with Death Row. And, but that quickly moved, and he was just happy because he knew at that point it was a countdown. It was just a matter of time before he was getting out of that place. He wasn't happy to be there. He didn't deserve to be there. So that was a blessing that, in fact, that they came through and, got him out.
Take me through that moment when you heard the news that Tupac finally got bailed out of prison.
Well, actually, he called me. And he called me. He told me that he was out. And he told me, that they had a private jet. They was getting ready to go out to Cali. He told me, sit tight, stay safe. Don't be out in the streets, and sit tight, that he would be sending for me, give him a couple weeks to get things situated, and he would send for me to come out there.
Take me through and give me a detailed account of everything that happened when Tupac flew you out to California.
He had called me. Well, he called me before that, to let me know at one point that that he was going to be sending for me, and to get myself together. And he sent me a flight, set me up. I think Yasmin had called me, gave me my flight information, and I flew out, first class, out to L.A. When I got off the plane, he told me his assistant would be picking me up, and he met me at the gate, and his name was Kendrick. And when we got in the car, he was like, Pac wanted me to play some music for you off his new album that's coming out. And I was like, all right, cool, bet. So he played I Ain't Mad At Ya, and he was like, there's a part in this song that's for you. And then he played Rather Be a Nigga, and he was like, he wrote this song for you. And I was like, oh my God, okay. I heard it, I was laughing. Finally got to the Beverly Hills Bungalow Hotel, and he was there. He was happy to see me. I was happy to see him. You know, we kissed, hugged, everything, chopped it up a little bit, and then he had a present for me. And, you know, had a cute little note. He was like, just a little something from a real nigga, something to that effect, for you being there. And it was a ring. When I see that box, Lord, my heart went through my ass. But it was a friendship ring, but it was beautiful nonetheless, and I was very appreciative of him thinking of me and getting me that token. He told me, you know, to get dressed, get ready. We're going to go out to eat, then we're coming back to the hotel. We're coming straight back to the hotel. I was like, all right, cool. So, you know, I got dressed up. All the boys came, you know, his friends, and we went to Monty's in downtown, I think it was Studio City or somewhere downtown L.A., you know, and we just had this big meal, about maybe 10 people at the table. And, you know, we were just celebrating. He was happy to see me, you know, and I was happy to see him. I was happy to see all of the guys, you know, and we had a really good time. We went back to the hotel, smoked, drank, chilled, you know, and took it down for the night. Then the next day we went to the studio. He played me All Eyes on Me, showed me stuff he was working on. I remember Roger Troutman was there, his producer, you know, a bunch of people. And we was playing music. Outlaws was there, everybody smoking, chilling. It was like, you know, like kind of like old times. Then, what was it? When we got back from the studio that night, I remember I was saving a song that I wanted to play for him. Because we used to play music for each other and, like, you know, be on planes, listening to music, always stop at Tower Records and grab CDs, listen to songs from various artists. And I had heard a song by Jamiroquai that I loved the beat on this song. And I was like, babe, I think you should, like, make a song from this. So the next day he gave me some money, told me to go shopping. And he was like, I'm going to run to the studio. So when he came back that afternoon, he had made a song called Who Do You Believe In? From the beat I gave him, played it for me. You know, I was like, all right. You know, I was real happy. I was excited. I'm like, all right, I was a part of that process. Cool. You know, and then I was there for a few more days. He took me to his apartment that he had got in Wilshire and showed me, like, he had just signed the papers and got that. And we went riding through Cali in the drop top. And he took me to Pollo, what is that, El Pollo Loco. That was like one of his little favorite, like, you know, fast food restaurants in Cali. And we just had a really good time. I was glad, you know, to see him and see him free. You know, I hated seeing him caged up like that.